For some reason, watching this Smash announcement, I get this vision of an old cranky Mario just being like, what's going on? This game used to be all about the Nintendo characters. Now we got the Final Fantasies and the Bayonettas and the Fire Emblems and everywhere. This is crazy. And then he gets all Trump-like. He's all like, I'm gonna put a border around Smash Brothers. Only Nintendo characters can come in and we gonna kick those Fire Emblem foreigners out of here. Well, Mario, that's another race. And shut up, Luigi. I'm keeping this pure. We got to take back a Smash. I'm joking. Or am I? Hi, I'm Andre, I'm a black nerd, and I want to talk to you about the final Smash Brothers presentation that was given to us by Nintendo and Sakurai. He came out and was like, this is it, y'all. Like, stop asking me about new fighters. What else coming in this game? Here's what I got left. It's been a year. Thank you very much. Bow, wave, I'm out. Sakurai going on vacation. This is allegedly the last DLC we're gonna get for Smash Brothers on the Wii U and 3DS. Okay. I'm sure when Reggie Fils-Aimé, after Christmas, opens up that quarterly report and goes, oh, we made this much off a DLC for Smash Brothers? Sakurai, if you ain't gonna do it, somebody's gonna do it. Hell, I'll do it. I'll draw a stick figure and be like, look at that, that's Captain N. Reggie better make that money. Pay me what you owe me. Don't act like you forgot. First character that gets announced is Corrin from the upcoming Fire Emblem game, Fire Emblem Fates. Corrin is like the main character that you get to play in that game, so just like Robin, Corrin can be male or female. Even though just like Robin, I can't tell the difference between the male and female version of Corrin. So we got Corrin that can change from male and female, Robin that can change from male and female, Wii Fit Trainer can change from male and female. You know Nintendo's leaning over to Link like, hey buddy, what's going on? You ever feel like you ever wanna, you know, be a woman? I'm telling you, next Zelda game, don't be surprised, because if Reggie can get a second Link out of here, y'all, he will do it, because Reggie gotta make that money! Corrin apparently has dragon blood inside his or her body, which allows for cool dragon-based moves, fights, bites, and transformations. It's a cool looking character, and look, I am happy with every single character that Smash gives us. I know a lot of hard work goes into making any new content for this game. But I'm sorry, the old school Nintendo in me is like, another Fire Emblem character. I mean, you know, it was cool when there was like 2 or 3 or 4 of them. When someone told Marth and Roy they could show up, and they was like, well, what about Ike? It's like, all right, we can bring Ike too. Well, what about Lucina? Okay, well, Lucina can show up. Well, let's bring everybody in. It's a Fire Emblem party. Fire Emblem is cool. Y'all some cool people. But if you have this many people up in Smash Brothers, I think it's about time you get your own fighting game. Pokemon's doing it, so I think you need to have a fighting game for Fire Emblem. You can call it Fighter Emblem. What? I just gave you an idea. Fire Emblem coming to Wii U, 3DS, NX, whatever. Boom, May 6, 2016. Now, it had already been announced that Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, which made a lot of people, I think, literally die, because they're like, what? That's not possible, but it happened. Heart attack. They talk some more about Cloud and what his movesets will be. Big giant sword, of course, got the Buster Sword with them. And they're also gonna have a limit break feature for Cloud, kind of similar to Little Mac's KO feature, where it's something that you can charge up throughout the course of the fight, and then once you engage it, all of your moves become a little bit more powerful, and you can also do a limit break move that only gives 1% of damage, but if you are at a high percent of damage, it's enough to blast you off the stage, similar to Little Mac's KO. Cloud is also coming with his own stage, the Midgar stage, which has summons that you can capture throughout the course of the stage, which cause monsters to change and alter the stage using fire, water, electricity. There's even a dude that comes in and splits the stage in half. And if you're in the middle of the stage, when the stage comes back together, you dead. And of course, because Cloud's coming, you gotta get some Chocobos, so they gave you a Chocobo Hat for Mii Fighters. And then, I'm sorry, I'm happy for Cloud. Congratulations, if you are a Final Fantasy VII fan, good for you that you got your character back, but this is what got me. They're like, hey, come on, Square Enix. Can't we just give him a little something more? And they pull a Steve Jobs like, one more thing. Bam! Geno is in the game. Kind of. So in addition to Cloud and Chocobo, which is available to download right now, you can also get a Geno costume. Geno has been a highly requested character, and even though we don't get the full-on character, to be able to dress up as the character is at least something. I'm gonna create him and call him Geno and just act like that's Geno in the game. So they made him a gunner Mii, because you remember Geno used to shoot those little pellet bullets out of his arm. So there you go, Geno's in the game. We wanted it, we got it, kind of. Thank you, Mii Fighters. And what's really cool is that they're putting QR codes on the Smash Brothers website, so when you create your Mii, you can scan the QR code and it will create a special Mii that kind of has a face similar to the character that you're gonna dress it up like. It can make a Mii whose face kind of looks like that character, then you put the costume on them, and boom, your character's ready to go. Mii Fighters are pretty much bringing in all the characters that Nintendo's like, well, we want to put them in there, but we ain't got time to program that. Just put a costume on. You want Tails and Knuckles? Boom! Mii Fighters. Sonic Heroes! Tails and Knuckles from Sonic the Hedgehog are technically coming to Smash through Mii Fighter costumes. Tails is going to be a Mii Gunner, and Knuckles is going to, of course, be a Brawler. I think Geno makes sense as a Mii Fighter. I think some of the other characters that they've made into Mii Fighters make sense, but I personally would have liked to see at least Tails, and not Knuckles, at least Tails become an actual fighter, an actual character. This is the same way I thought about King K. Rool. I know we have a King K. Rool costume, but those are actual characters I would like to have seen as opposed to just playing dress up. But you know, it's hard work. I understand, man. I ain't trying to put any pressure on you. I thank you for what you've done. These are more just I wishes than you should haves. That's how you gotta be. Sometimes you gotta say I wish, but you can't always say you should have.
Nintendo does have something for everyone. The people that like the more mature game, and Bayonetta 2 is a great example of that.
Would there ever be a crossover? Would there ever be like a Bayonetta in Smash Brothers or anything like that?
That's a crazy idea. I can mention it to the developer.
Okay.
Bayonetta is officially coming to Smash, and it's coming to Smash because of the fighter ballot. Bayonetta was the #1 choice of fighters to be added to Smash in Europe and was in the top 5 in the United States. And my favorite phrase of this entire thing was, Bayonetta was the #1 worldwide character of negotiable and realizable characters. That's a nice way of saying characters that we knew were never gonna be in the game because they ain't video game characters, Goku. And they even mentioned that these were negotiable and realizable characters based on even fighters they used to have in the game. I feel like that might have been like a, we may have tried to get Solid Snake, but then Konami was all like, forget you, we already getting Kojima out of here, so whatever. And they're like, all right, fine. We tried, y'all. Honestly, I'm not joking. I really honestly feel like Snake was in their brain, and Konami was like, well, can we put him in a pachinko machine, make him a mobile game? Because if not, you ain't getting Snake. Better fire up that Wii, y'all, and just play that Brawl. That's all the Snake you gonna get. Bayonetta was even a character I had mentioned before. When I said that Bayonetta 2 was coming to the Wii U, to me it just made a lot of sense to make Bayonetta a Smash character because it's a great promotion. And that's pretty much what this is. People want her. I'm not saying it's a fake ballot, but let's just be real. All these characters that we putting out recently, we got Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, which getting a remake. We got Ryu, which is from Street Fighter, which getting a 5. We got this Fire Emblem's character that's gonna be new in Fate. And now we got Bayonetta, whose game Bayonetta 2 is on Wii U. Not saying that those are not the winners, just saying that those are convenient winners. But I'm actually very happy that Bayonetta is in Smash because she's an awesome character looking at her. And also, she's gonna bring that witch time with her. You can be able to slow people down, be able to summon limbs of demons. You're even gonna be able to have a final climax smash where you fill up your climax gauge and then that calls the demon Gamora, and whoever you hit while filling up that climax gauge gets bitten up and eaten by Gamora. And then if you got over 100%, it's like a danger zone and you out of there. It's really cool. I mean, yeah, I feel like these characters might have been chosen because they're humanoid characters, so maybe I'm just theorizing from a programming standpoint, it might be easier to just take a base human model, adjust it to be these different characters, and then put all your time and attention on the special moves, which is what you can really tell with all these characters they're releasing. They're all human characters or human-based characters, but all their moves are so distinct to who they are, as opposed to having to create more of a cartoonish-like character where you had to put a lot of focus on the character design as well as the moves. I feel like that these characters were easier to make as DLC. That's just an opinion, but that doesn't mean that they're not good characters. I'm gonna get all of them. I already downloaded Cloud. I'm gonna get these other characters, which are supposedly coming out around February. That's what they're aiming for. When they come out, I will get them. I will get Bayonetta. I'm excited for her. Also excited for her stage, the Umbra Clock Tower stage. And of course, looking forward to March 2016 for new Amiibo! We're getting Ryu, we're getting Roy, and we're getting the Japan Rob, the Famicom Colors Rob that everyone's been importing and paying $50 for. Now it's like, oh, nope, $12.99 in the United States. Nintendo, get you again. And they have also confirmed that Cloud, Corrin, and Bayonetta will have Amiibo coming out as well. Don't know what date yet, but they will have them. So that's really awesome. Every Smash fighter is getting an Amiibo. That's cool. And then that was it. And Sakurai was like, I'm gone. I'm done. I don't want to look at this game anymore. This is the end of Smash DLC. And I'm telling you, I don't think so. I'm usually not a conspiracy theory type of guy, but if NX, whatever the new system that Nintendo's coming out with, is not a replacement for the Wii U, that Wii U's gonna continue, they ain't trying to make another Smash game unless they're gonna bring something brand new to the table. I can't see them trying to make a sequel to this game as massive as it is. So the only thing that would make logical sense is they'll probably release like an Ultimate Edition with all the DLC included later on, maybe next year. But at least more Mii Fighter costumes, at the very least, I could see being added to this. But I would not be surprised if we get more fighters. It may not be Sakurai doing them, but somebody gonna do them. Even if they find somebody on the street and go, hey, can anyone make a Smash Brothers character? Super Smash Maker, get in here! Just yelling from the Nintendo office window. Let me know what you think about these characters and if there was anyone in Smash that didn't make the cut that you wish made the cut or that you wish came back. I know everybody was hoping for them Ice Climbers, but Rosalina and Luma were like, nope. I love you like a play cousin. I'm Audi 5000, Chain Chomp, yo.